Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage we're doing a little secrets of the XK8. We're going beneath the rear seat. So we're going into the back of my 1996 XK8 convertible. I have reasons to get the seats out because I'm doing the wiring for a reversing camera, so I thought I'd do a little episode on beneath the rear seat secrets, because you know, people don't remove their rear seats as a rule. Most people never touch them. First thing is, how are they attached? If you look below the seat and feel around, you'll find this little spire, and what they should all have, but again, it's a case of so many of them get lost over the years, and again, costing down on later cars. There should be a little rubber cover that you can pull off, like so, that covers up the bolt. And laughingly, this bolt needs covering up because, of course, your children's legs might catch on it. As if there's anybody putting their legs in this footwell. It's a 10mm nut that you're looking to undo, and what you've got is a shoulder nut, i.e. a nut that has a washer attached or a foot on it, and in doing that your seat is loose. It's just passed through a little bracket there. So I'll pop over and do the other side and come back to you in a sec. So once you've got both of those released, you can just lift the front of your seat, give it a jiggle and pull forward. Once you've got it forward a little bit, what you'll note is the gaiter around your rear seat belt sockets goes all the way around these two sockets, but is attached to the seat. The seatbelt sockets are obviously attached to the car, so we need to get that out. If you go between them, if you want them right up, you'll see tucked away two little silver pop fasteners, pop studs. And if you separate them like so, then you can open the gaiter, which has an elasticated neck. There we go. And pull it up such that you can lift that over the top of your seatbelt mounts. There we go. And even if, like me, you keep your car pretty clean, see all the grubbiness that creeps down the back of the seats. So getting these out now and again is a good way to do a clean and rejuvenate on the hide anyway. And with the squab or base of the seat out, you can easily see the posi drive fitting on both sides that holds the backrest in at the bottom. So one of these on either side of the car, just like so. So if you move your seatbelt to one side, you can get these screws, two of them, undo those, and then you better lift this out, and there's a slot in it to pull the seatbelt through. These are delicate pieces, so be careful while you're doing it. And indeed, see the base of where this screw's been attached is all cracked, and this is completely gone. And although I took everything out very carefully, there's the screw and the remainder of that piece of plastic. So yeah, very brittle pieces. old plus in sun plus never really get treated with any vinyl rubber cleaner or anything like that. So yeah, look after these bits. The seats can actually then just be lifted and unhooked from the top rail at the back here. Just got to get your seat belt out of the way. And then a little bit of jiggling from the bottom. It is quite strongly clipped over this rail here, so you want that. There we go. Get quite the tug. There we go, and we're out. Ta-da! And there we are, fully removed. Let's have a little look over here at the actual seats. We see that the backrest at first looks like a block of foam, but here's probably quite good. There is a wireframe moulded inside the block. Where else can I feel it? There. Running across here, here, various other places and around the edge. It's got wire within it, so quite a complex moulding for a backrest. We can see the date, looks like 08/08/96, not quite sure I'm reading that correctly. And the installer's name, KC. Some of you will have convertibles and not have these. I had quite an interesting conversation with, it was Paul, I think. Hi, Paul, at Frisney's show recently about his car. And he hasn't got these on his convertible, despite it being quite an early car. Again, it was one of those things that got deleted early on. Press studs on the back from the factory, very used to attach the tonneau cover to the backs of the sort of vestigial headrests in the rear seats. Later cars don't have them. They're not actually that necessary. The tonneau doesn't flap around. It's under a lot of tension side to side anyway. But they should be black if they're early car and original. And Paul was noting that his tonneau doesn't have the poppers, but his seats do have these bases, and they're in black. So looks like they probably ran out of tonneaus with those poppers on before they ran out of backrests. You can see the sort of steel U section at the top that hooks over your rear bulkhead. That's how that's held in place. A highly shaped seat. The seat base has the more traditional sort of separate wireframe, then a foam block. So you can see all the wireframe there. But equally, if you can see that brown webbing in there, that's integrated into the foam assembly and hooked onto this rail in the same way as you would have building a domestic dining room chair, good quality one, where you got webbing across a frame with padding below it. So very light really, very small rear seat for obvious reasons, but still very well built. Okay, so let's have a little look around in here while the seats are out. Now again, a convertible specific thing, I know, but I'm fascinated by this panel because I know it being separate from this piece serves no purpose in terms of assembly and certainly not in terms of cost saving, which makes me think that during development or possibly with an eye to the future, they thought there might be some mods and versions of this vehicle that would make it useful to have this dropped area between the rear seats. So what you've got is essentially that's a headrest, and then this dropped area. Do we think there was ever a plan to have a roll hoop both sides, you know, a vestigial one, and the drop down in the middle would just help accentuate the lines? I don't know, but that I find particularly interesting and is one of the secrets of the XK8 that really bugs me, because I don't think there's going to be the right people around to ever know what that's for. So I'm really hoping one of you guys knows why you would build it this way. It'd be a lot cheaper to have this panel go all the way to the top and just have this folded edge, which is what the seat clips onto, than have this rather elaborate pressing with a recess for this bracket and a gap below it. I really don't know. In terms of using it for access for anything, you know, the only thing you're looking at the other side of here is there's a carpet, and then you've got the well that the hood folds into. The fuel tank is way back here, and production line assistance, you know, an aid to building something else. I just can't see it. So let me know if you've got any ideas, or better still, knowledge of why this panel's there. Two pretty standard seatbelt mechanisms behind the seat, nicely protected by these ribs, and obviously the foam all wraps around it. Interestingly, I haven't lifted those flaps, they were up. Now, is that because that's the only way the thing fits together, or is that because they just weren't closed? Because these are hinged. This isn't a plastic flap, you know, as in just a thin hinged piece of plastic. It has a hinge, and the purpose of that is to lock down, and it has clips, which means it can lock down onto this rail here, and cover the, there we go, and cover the top of the seatbelt mech. Could just be an idiosyncrasy of my car. I don't think anybody's ever been in this area where I'm sat right now since the car was built. But yeah, why is that open? All it's going to do with a bit of pressure from the foam is rub on the seatbelt. I really like this piece of simple, elegant design here. So you got the two seat belts linked together with cables going through a stress relief tube, but there's a spring there and a little figure-8 piece of steel, meaning that these are forced back into the pocket on the backrest of the seat rather than sticking out when they've been in use, as they are when they're in use. As soon as you stop using them, they're going to pull themselves back into the back of the seat. Beyond that, there's not a lot to see here other than to say that it's got reasonable sound insulation, quite a lot of wiring, but it's really well managed. And yeah, this is exposed, but of course you would not normally be able to get at it to abrade it, so that's pretty good. It's all very neat. And I've got just a couple of bonus items. That's a cardboard tag off a loom. The remnants of a barcode, but it's long since faded away. There's a half round bit of rubber, which I can't think where it would go. There's nothing similar on show there. This may have come from behind this panel somewhere and has somehow dropped down. Right, I think I'll leave that one there. We've now got an Amazon storefront or something like that. I'm forever putting little links in the descriptions below my videos to show people the product I'm using, the tool I'm using, the gadget I'm finding handy, in case you want to buy it. Amazon must have clocked that I'm putting a lot of references to their stuff and approached me and said, oh, do you want to have a storefront? Costs me nothing. And it's just a really convenient and easy way of organising all those things so you don't have to do it every time on YouTube. Didn't even know it was a thing. So if you just go to Amazon/shop/to-the-garage, and I'll put that link in the description below so that you can just click on it. It takes you to a to-the-garage area of Amazon that is categorised into hand tools, power tools, gadgets and gizmos, things specifically the XK8, etc. that I've bought from Amazon over the years so that you can follow the same links and have a look, see how much those cost at the moment. Nice little feature. Thank you, Amazon. And yeah, check it out, folks. And I'll see you all in another video real soon. If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. And please give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and you can share the videos. And below the video is always the area where you can comment and get involved with the chat.